done the brief document and submitted to the Ministry for 23 wetlands, and it has been technically evaluated by the expert committee under the technical committee of the State Wetland Authority, and it has been already submitted to the ministry. And out of the 23 that wetlands, 7 wetland has already identified for notification. It is recommended by the State Wetland Authority since long back, and but we still waiting for some vetting from some line departments like Revenue Department as well as the Legal Department, Law Department. So once we get the vetting from this body department, then we will definitely notify this 7 wetland as a first phase, and after that we will be on the track to notify all the rest of the wetlands. Very interestingly, that it is exclusive to the Loktak Lake. Loktak Lake is already under the list of Ramsar for international importance. Even though we are trying to notify it in the State Gazette. After once the IMP Integrated Management Plan for Loktak Lake has been endorsed by the ministry. This is our plan in the state government. Interestingly, out of the 7 wetlands, 2 wetlands fall in the hill. But it is not much high altitude wetland, but it is around 2000 MSL. It is also included in the 7 wetland, but it is distributed in different districts. And these are some locations we have given in the map also. Here the red boxes is the distribution of the 7 wetlands in the state. Now, out of the 7 wetlands, 4 has already taken up by the government of Manipur under the guidelines of the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystem. This Ministry of Manifest Climate Change, these are the project mode, and the 5th one is under preparation of DPR. This is a hill wetland, and the rest last 2 wetlands is taken care by the Loktak Development Authority till now. So this 7 wetland is under process now. What we are doing now, the first 1 to 4 wetlands is on progress. In fact, Garel part is almost in the halfway of this implementation phase, and this Zyming already in progress now. Then Uttar part 1st and 4th serial number that is under process for the tendering. Tendering will be completing this month, and will be continuing the progress. Now the rest of the 29 this 7 wetland, we have challenges in the Loktak Lake. In fact, the rest wetlands doesn't have much challenge to us, but what challenge we face for Loktak Lake, I will try to focus as from the State Wetland Authority, that the problem we are facing is that shallowing in the lake is very much concern now, then decreasing of depth, so that it's reducing the holding capacity of the water is one of the challenges to us problem. Then heavy siltation, of course, everybody knows that it's having a heavy siltation from the catchment. Then high nutrient lot in the Loktak itself is water quality due to the discharging of the urban waste. Then challenge of hydroregimes, of course, this is happening in the subsequently. So now the State Wetland Authority has suggested to take up some actions on the identification and updation of the influence zone. It is very important to identify the activities which are taken up in the influence zone, and to control those activities which is not to be polluting the Loktak Lake is one of the priority. Then control of the activities as per norm, as per rules given by the Government of India. Then pre and post impact assessment of the wetland itself is very important to do it, and we are on the track now. We are trying to do it also, and we are starting some work also in the ground. Then control of pollution and nutrition lot following the urban rivers. Urban rivers means around 16 to 19 rivers is flowing into the Loktak Lake from the western part. So until unless we don't take care of this, the urban streams, rivers which is flowing to the lake, it is not possible to improve the Loktak Lake. This is one of the problem. So now challenges is that this is Loktak Lake. Once it is after notified and as a Ramsar site, it comes into the Montrose record. So the listing of the Montrose record is one with great challenge till now. We are facing this. Our project director of the Loktak Development Authority has also announced that we are on the process to the listing of this Loktak Lake. In fact, if we look into Loktak Lake in catchment area, this is the yellow patches is the urban area. So it is surrounded by the urban ULBs, urban local bodies to the Loktak Lake. So from this 11 urban local bodies, the lots of vessels come to the Loktak Lake, and these are the streams which are flowing to the Loktak Lake. So until unless we don't take care of that, it is very not possible to improving the Loktak Lake. So out of the total 29 rivers, that 14 rivers is flowing into the Loktak Lake. So we should take care on that. And out of the 14 rivers, Hon'ble river has already taken up by the state government. And one has already submitted, DPR has submitted for Imphal river, and other are also in the track now. We are in the process now. This is the critical information we are getting from the surroundings, that around 27 MLD is discharging every day in Loktak Lake from the urban waste. So these are some ULBs what I mentioned about the ULBs surrounded by the Loktak Lake. From these ULBs, around 27 MLD is discharging as a liquid waste, and around 167 MT 67 TPD tons per day of solid waste is discharging to the Loktak Lake itself. So this is the very big pressure to the Loktak Lake. So I am showing, I have shown this ULB wise the data information. Now, if we look into the the major threat of the sanitation problem in the major towns of the surrounding area, then this out of these towns, the 3 towns, that Biswajit, Moira and Mayang Imphal is directly influence zone of the Loktak Lake. So from that we have lots of problem for the sewers, and until unless we didn't take care about the sewers, and the pressure will be increased the Loktak Lake. That's why we, the state government, in consultation with all line departments and this, especially as a nodal agency of the Environment and Climate Change Department in the state, we are proposing to the ministry to take up some fecal slurs and surplus management to all the towns. So it includes this all in cluster approach. So if we just could take up this project, fecal slurs and surplus management for urban local bodies surround the Loktak Lake, I think the little solution may be solved. It may not be 100% solution for Loktak Lake, but it will help a lot to improving the catchment area. So this is the some sketch, some action plan what to be taken up. The surrounding this blue patch is the Loktak Lake, and the surrounded by yellow patch is the urban local bodies. So this ring B cluster, C cluster and D cluster is the proposed FST, fecal sludge treatment plan, as well as the sewage and solid waste management plan. So under the under the Imphal river project. So you see, this is the photograph of what in catchment area in for Hon'ble river. The top is the catchment area. It's very clean water, but what we could see in the Imphal urban area itself, the middle poster, middle photograph, but in the last end point of the Loktak Lake, people are using this Loktak Lake, the water, this river water very pleasantly. So this is one of the projects which is taken up by the state government to improving the Loktak Lake, that this Hon'ble project. These are the 9 components here, and we are just doing intersection diversion of all urban drains, and we are trying to tap it, and we will try to treat it in some STP plant, in 2 STP plants, and STP plant has been completed now construction, but some portion of the IND, intersection diversion of the pipelines to tap the drain, is left little bit behind. So we are targeting in coming 3 months we will be inaugurating and we will be commencing this project, and we will be handing over to the people, and we will start this project. And likewise, this is the some closely, if we look into there's 8 municipal wards in the urban area. So from the urban, these municipal areas, lots of waste, around 72 drains has been draining to the river, and it comes to directly to the Loktak Lake. Now, this some pictures I've shown that what we have taken up. STP plan has completed now. Riverfront development in the Hon'ble river project is taken up in certain area. So now the old picture is not coming up. This down was the before, and this middle one is the present poster, present photograph. So now little bit changes. Now very happy. I would like to take the opportunity to share the information that in the recent publication was Central Pollution Control Board, the Hon'ble River was in the second priority, but now it improving and it comes in the fourth priority now. This is very good to share the information that it's improving that priority, Hon'ble River. So now we don't have any second priority river polluted in the state no more now. Now, likewise, we are proposing the Hon'ble River again. There was Hon'ble River, there's Hon'ble River. Hon'ble River is nearby the Loktak itself. This proposal also we have submitted to the ministry, and it composes of the separate sewer system. So if we take up this project, then the waste from the Hon'ble River also will be prevented to stop draining into the Loktak Lake. We are not discussing about the within the Loktak Lake, but we are just very much concerned what taken up in the influence zone. So we are just prioritized on that. This is for Hon'ble River, and this is called the Moyang River again. And this proposal DPR included in the Central Pollution Control Board list. But we are especially requested that as a state priority, please take up this issue also, because the two, everybody knows in Manipur that it is very important river who's sharing the pollution to the Loktak Lake. So my request, sincere request from state government side to the authority of the ministry also, please take care on that. If not possible from the National River Conservation Plan, then please take up under the pollution abatement project or some wetland conservation, because until unless we don't take care of this system, river polluted rivers, so it is not possible to cure it. Oh, okay. So the Montrose record, what I told that Montrose record is very important. So now we are working in likewise, all line departments we are working very seriously to take up some actions on the delisting of the Montrose record. And so this is our actions taken up till now. So we, the State Wetland Authority, do coordinate to all the line departments and working together, and we are trying to do something about the wetland conservation. So thank you all, and we'll.
Now I would like to call upon Arunachal Pradesh to proceed with the presentation. Also, let me remind you, we are given 10 minutes for each state and 5 minutes for FAQs.
Hello, good morning, sir. Respected Joint Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, and Dr. Raghu Kodali, Advisor in Wetland, Ministry of Environment, Forest, and all the dignitaries of the 8 northeastern states who are dealing with wetlands, and other experts from the country, from Kerala and Gujarat and all. I don't have anything to present, so my presentation, so to say, will be very brief. To start with, I am Dr. Dohu Robin. I am Director Environment and Climate Change, and also discharging as in capacity, I came here as a convener for a Technical Evaluation Committee for the State Wetland Authority, Arunachal Pradesh. Sir, as on date, we have 407 wetlands above 5 hectares, and above 2.25 we have something about 2,250 wetlands. But unfortunately, we have not been able to submit any of the wetlands under NPCA, and we neither could notify the wetlands for notification. So we have some critical issues, problems, some challenges that I will highlight. Sorry, sir, like I didn't make any presentation because like when we have anything in the pipeline, तो थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है. तो like अभी हमें हमारा कुछ दिखाने का नहीं है, तो उसमें हमने क्या विकल्प ये और कर सकता है, उसने तो सर मैंने ये पीपीटी नहीं बनाया. सर हमारा यहाँ में विचित्र परिस्थिति ये है कि those wetlands like Sela Lake, then in some lakes we had earlier 16 wetlands named earlier we had submitted to the ministry. Now the locals of this wetland do not want to part with the land. तो होता ये है like that land area जहाँ में वो अगर उसकी जमीन नहीं देगा तो the wetland which consists part of the system तो मैं इसको कैसे अधिग्रहण करूँ, तो ये एक समस्या हो गया सर. Then our most of our wetlands like last time we submitted for one Pasang Sonamso lake, so that is shown outside the LAC line of actual control. So whereas in the land it is very much in Arunachal Pradesh. लेकिन वो जो GPS जो दिखा रहा है, the geo coordinates what we have taken, it is the actual picture में it is very much in India, very much in Arunachal Pradesh. लेकिन उसको जब वो गूगल मैप को हमने गूगल में डाल के देखता है, that is shown outside the LAC. तो इस वजह से भी हमने उसको ये we could not go ahead. So सर हमारा सुझाव एट दिस जंक्चर सर ये है कि लाइक मणिपुर में आपने ये रीजनल वर्कशॉप रखा, क्योंकि उसको यहाँ में कुछ लोकतक का so many wetlands they have got some support from the ministry. लाइक हमारा यहाँ तो कुछ सपोर्ट भी नहीं मिला, ना हमने कुछ पेश किया. तो ये चीज को समाधान होने के लिए सर हम चाहते हैं सर, why not the ministry give us some support to organize such event in Arunachal Pradesh itself, so that the area owners, जो वहाँ का जो पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन है, and that wetland managers and और लोगों को various stakeholder line departments को हमने एक प्लेटफॉर्म पर बुलाएं, उसको बताएं कि क्या ये चीज होता है. सर लाइक फ्रॉम माय स्टेट myself and A Boli, he is a DFO, he is a Divisional Forest Officer of the Sipit Lake. We are going to submit wetland for Sipit Lake this year, but then हम एक या दो आदमी यहाँ में आने से, टेक्निकल नो हो ले जाने से भी, but it is difficult to inculcate that knowledge within those people. तो सर ये हमारा मानना है, अगर हो सके तो अरुणाचल में भी ऐसा कुछ प्रोग्राम हमको बनाने का माने ये सौभाग्य हमको ये समय प्रदान करे, तो हमने वो प्रदान ये उसको that can be done in Itanagar area or some district area, because nowadays Itanagar also connected by flight air route services there from this thing Kolkata and Guwahati, so that should not be a very big issue. So sir, with this word, like we hope to submit at least 2 or 3 wetlands for under NPCA this year. And sir, thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Assam to give the presentation.
Respected Joint Secretary, Ministry of Environment and Forest, Climate Change, Government of India, and all dignitaries and delegates present in today's workshop. Myself, Jayashree Naiding, I am posted as DFO Guwahati Wildlife Division and also Site Manager of Diporbil Ramsar site. I have been, I'll be speaking on behalf of Assam State Wetland Authority. This is the wetland map of Assam. Nine categories of wetland has been inventorized, and the total wetland area of Assam is 11,14,822 hectares, and out of which 1 lakh hectare is within reserve forest, and 10,05,000 hectares outside forest area. Now coming to this Assam State Wetland Authority. State Wetland Authority has been constituted, and we have technical committee under State Wetland Authority is also in place, and grievances redressal committee under State Wetland Authority is also in place. Up till now, district-wise wetland maps of India, Assam has been completed. Then inventory of 36 number of ecologically significant wetlands, including Diporbil, has also been done. And in addition to that, inventory of district-wise wetlands of more than 50 hectare area of outside forest area, that has also been inventorized. And the mapping of wetlands inside reserve forest has also been completed. This is the district-wise district wetland map of Kamrup Metropolitan District. Similarly, for all the districts of Assam, this district wetland map has been prepared. Coming to the ecologically significant wetlands of Assam, I have already told that Assam has identified this ecologically significant wetlands of Assam. Out of this, Diporbil Ramsar site also has been included in this list. And I would like to mention here that the entire Diporbil wetland does not fall under the jurisdiction of Forest Department. Only a small portion, that is 4.1 square kilometer of the greater wetland, is the notified wildlife sanctuary, and rest falls under the jurisdiction of Revenue Department. Brief documents of these wetlands are under preparation, and now integrated management plan for 2 wetlands, that is Diporbil wetland and Doloni wetland. It is being prepared by GIZ under NURAC project. Now coming to the details of mapping of wetlands that State Wetland Authority has completed. With respect to outside forest area, wetlands outside forest area mapping has been done using satellite imagery of all wetlands of Assam. All total 442 number of wetlands of more than 50 hectare, totaling to 68,611 hectare has been done. Then riverine wetlands 5,78,000, river sand 2,19,000, and inside reserve forests total number of mapping of 7,313 wetlands has been done. And amongst all district, Karimganj has the highest number of wetlands inside RF, that is 1,790 numbers. Then total riverine area inside RF is 2,43,000. Now coming to the achievements, with respect to Diporbil, since there is issues of inlet, outlet channels, survey work has been done in March 2023 to work out an alternate outlet for Diporbil. And the survey work has done for the Kalmani channel, that is the feeding that is one of the feeding channel, and a major outlet channel, that is the Khanajan. Then since 2022, the Indo-German project, that is the Living Lakes project, is being implemented in Diporville. And with respect to GIJ's work for preparation of integrated management plan, multiple stakeholder consultation has started, and it is we will very soon, maybe in three months' time, we'll be able to come up with an integrated management plan, not only for Diporville, but also for Doloniville. As done by all state governments, publicity and awareness activities are conducted on wetland conservations in all districts of Assam, and especially on World Wetlands Day. Major challenges faced are like physical demarcation of wetlands, status of land, then jurisdiction issues, then as like other wetlands, multiple stakeholders, and then land use change, land reclassification issues, encroachment. I've already mentioned about inlet-outlet issues, siltation, then even sewage pollution also. Now, since I'm representing as a Ramsar site manager, and it is the only Ramsar site of Assam, I'd like to speak about Diporville also. I have already mentioned about the Forest Department having jurisdiction over only 4.1 square kilometer. Diporville is situated well within the city limits. This was situated in the southwestern side of the Guwahati city. This is the map as per the Ramsar fact sheet. Here the blue portion is the greater wetland Diporville. Here I would like to show the map of Diporville Wildlife Sanctuary. Here you can very well see that the white marked portion, that's just the middle small portion, is the notified wildlife sanctuary. Here you'll see on the southern side is the Rani Reserve Forest and Garbanga Hills, and it's the main catchment area of the wetland. Here the pink marked areas, these are the existing active elephant movement happens across this. There's a famous NGT case also. Here this entire Diporville wetland, it is a part of the greater habitat of the Asian elephants. So it's fragmented by the presence of the railway line and road also. The feeding channel towards the east, that's the Pamohi channel, and the Khanajan channel that was surveyed, that is the one on the northern side connecting with Brahmaputra. I would not delve much into the importance of Diporville wetland. It is a very well-known fact. I'd just like to show some photographs of Diporville wetland. This is the camera trapping done in the tower camp area. This is the birds during the migratory season, greater adjutant stork. It's the elephant. The elephant not only visit, they stay back also. Sometimes, usually they come down from the hills in the evenings and they stay back for a day, and there has been record for 2-3 days in the past also. In last year, they stayed back for 1 day like that. They come along with cows. It's the elephant feeding on UL ferox or makhana. It's vultures. So coming to the threats of Diporville, I have already mentioned this hydrological regime alteration, fragmentation, and the famous presence of the solid waste dumping site, encroachment. The similar threats other wetlands faces, and Diporville has also its own issues. Here it's drone imagery of the Diporville area with wetland on one side, the Rani RF on the other side, and here railway network and road in between. Here land use change. It's land use change photos. This was taken during flood season. The entire water from the Guwahati city gets drained into Diporville via Pamohi, and this is how it looks in the flood season. Elephant herd crossing the crossing in one of the most active corridors. This is, if anybody has visited or taken detour while going to Guwahati Airport, this is the Forest Department Tower Camp, near the Tower Camp area. We would like to, I'd like to mention that since 2013, there's no elephant train dashing that related to train dashing. That's because of the Honorable NGT's directives with respect to permanent speed regulation, as well as the strict vigilance by Forest Department and close coordination with Railway Department. We have been able to, in many instances, we have been able to save elephantine tragedy. That's just because of the, it's just a traditional thing, like torchlight alerts and loco pilots making emergency breaks well in time. This I have already mentioned. GIJ is preparing integrated wetland management plan. This with respect to Living Lakes project also it has been mentioned. And since 2022, Forest Department is conducting bird count, annual bird count. In 2023, we could record 26,747 birds. Here, we took the entire greater wetland. But in 2022, we focused only on the wildlife sanctuary portion, and total 10,289 birds was recorded. Species-wise, 96 species in 2023, and we had a very rare record of Baikal teal. It was one individual, but it was there for a long time. Like any other, I have mentioned, education awareness is part of the process. So this few photographs of World Wetland Day celebration 2021, and this year's where our Honorable State Forest Minister attended, and not only in Diporville, in rest of the wetlands also, World Wetland Day was celebrated. Here the pictures of other Doloni wetland in Bongaigaon also. And in 2022 March, our Honorable Union Minister also visited Diporville. We had conducted a photographic exhibition, and we ensure that our frontline staff also gets motivated because of their strict vigilance, 24/7 monitoring. We are able to save elephants from train dashing incidences in spite of very frequent movement of trains. That's the very success story we can say. So for motivation, our Honorable Union Minister felicitated our frontline staff and the volunteers. This we conduct since 2021 as per the directives of the Honorable of the MOEFCC. We have conducted Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Various events were conducted in 2021 as well as 2022. So with respect to key areas and support, we are under GIJ is preparing integrated management plan for Diporville. We for Diporville already with respect to research or documentation, there's no lacking, but collation, like bringing all whatever existing documents, research studies, that the collation is under process, and we are, IIT Guwahati is part of that, then Aranyak, and they are studying the existing data, secondary data will be evaluated. So we are very hopeful that a very good integrated management plan will be in place, and it will be approved, and will be able to mobilize fund for wetland conservation or rejuvenation of Diporville from the MOEFCC. And as I have mentioned, that Diporville challenges with respect to Diporville conservation is huge, and multiple stakeholders are involved. So we are hopeful that all will be able to come together for Diporville. So handholding of important stakeholders. Here you can see that GMDA, GMC, Water Resources Department, all of us needs to work together. And integrated management plan, once in place, will definitely help us work together in a concerted manner. Thank you. So, if there is any question.
Yeah, I think you should actually allow people to ask question now,
So,
because 3 people have finished the presentation. Otherwise, we'll forget what they have been.
that was what I was asking, if any questions.
So, I have one question. You said that around 442 wetlands greater than 50 hectare have been mapped
Yes, sir.
outside the reserve forest.
Yes, sir.
And inside around 7,313.
Yes.
So are these data digitally available?
Sir, so it is available, and
Yeah, have you, I mean,
it is uploaded in our Forest Department web portal.
it's already uploaded.
Yes, sir, it is easily.
So can that data be shared? Because this is one of the, targets of the Save Wetland campaign.
So,
The Atlas identified number of wetlands across the country. And now, with the help of ground truthing and other verification, we are trying to collect the data verified by different states. So whatever data you have already, compiled and digitized and ground truthing has been done. So if that can be shared with us, either through API services or, on our Wetland of India portal, so that will be great.
so we'll note it down.
So this is one thing. And second thing is, tremendous effort that I can see that a lot of work has been done by Assam, and you are already done a lot of mapping also. So what is the status of notification of different wetlands under Management Rules 2017?
So our nodal officer is here, so I will address it.
Be here. As far as notification was concerned, still we are in the process, because first we have to have the basic documents, basic data of all these wetlands. So we are concentrating on the 36, primarily on the 36 significant, ecologically significant wetlands, and basic documents we are preparing. Once basic document is prepared, then we will be preparing the notification, draft notification will be sent to the ministry. Till now, we have not yet notified any wetland under wetland rules 2017.
And maybe you can take up this health card preparation of all the wetlands that you already have mapped. Maybe that can be taken up parallelly, because that does not take much effort.
Yes, that will be starting, because wetland authority, the capacity of the wetland authority was not very good, maybe up to 2022. Now it has been established, so it will be taken care of on priority basis, wetland cards.
So you can take help of any of our knowledge partners. They can guide you how can, quickly prepare the health cards for all the mapped wetlands at least to start with.
Yes, with the help of ministry only. One meeting was held in 2022 with the earlier joint secretary, and then GIZ and Living Lakes. Two organizations are working over there, and local NGOs also working there. So with the help of GIZ and Living Lakes, the knowledge partner, and Wetland International also, we can have the preparation of health card for all the wetlands.
Thank you.
Sir, one question, sir. Recently I visited Silchar University. I think you have
Yes, yes.
participated in
Yes,
NMHS scheme, mountain region related issue. What about the Hon'ble, whether it is a proposal for Ramsar site?
We are working on that proposal. Since I think it has been tried several times, but the data which is required for Ramsar sites is not coming forward. So we are working on that with the help of district administration, and they are preparing the basic data. Once it is prepared, we are very keen to declare it as a Ramsar site, because it is one of the biggest, is the biggest wetland of the
I
Assam.
have visited that
Yes, yes.
Hon'ble also.
Yes.
That Assam University people also, they are preparing some documents, brief documents.
Yes.
That day, the seminar they are.
Even they are working on the interior management plan also.
IMP also.
Yes, IMP also.
Okay, sir.
We will be sending the
Proposal to
proposal.
ministry.
Yeah, we will be sending the proposals.
Okay, thank you.
So this Deeperville, it was designated as a Ramsar site during August 2002.
Yes.
As per Ramsar criteria, RIS of Ramsar site need to be updated after each 6 years. So this Ramsar site information sheet is still to be updated.
See, the
So,
biggest...
and we have already
Okay.
submitted the RIS to compiler.
Okay.
So it is with you. So kindly it is
So
requested
the
to
biggest
update.
challenge what we are facing, in 2002, who has sent the proposal, nobody knows. See, This is not in the record of even the forest department, not in the record of the state
Proposal
government.
was submitted by Council of Science and Technology, Assam Science and Technology.
So, and at that time, I don't know, this 40 square kilometer, who has prepared it? Even the 40 square meter of the high flood level area was never, it was never. It was only 400 hectares declared as a wildlife sanctuary. They might be thinking for why ek zero बढ़ा दिए होंगे वो. I don't know. So suppose if we are going to, as of now, the highest flood level in last 10 years in 19.2 square kilometer. It was never ever 40 square kilometer. So if you are going to update the data, then we are going to reduce this one, the Deepavali area size.
That should be within the 3%.
No. So that's the way. That's the biggest worry for all of us. Once it has been recorded 40 square kilometer, and that proposal was carried by the minister. What I have heard, at that time proposal carried by the Honorable State Minister of the Government of Assam to the ministry and he handed over. But no record is available who has prepared that, but it's like that only. But area will be drastically reduced. Once we update, it has to be reduced. Because it was never 40 square kilometer.
Sir, may I clarify, sir?
Yes.
Sir, whenever the proposal was done, the 40 square kilometer is the area of the whole topo sheet. If you take the four corners and estimate the area, it comes to 40 square kilometers. The Ramsar RIS updation has a procedure to correct areas when they are not accurately measured. And this is a classic case of inaccurate measurement of areas. It is
Okay.
not reduction in Ramsar site. All you
Okay.
need to do is to write a separate letter to the Ramsar focal point, Dr. Bajpayee, stating that these were the errors in estimation. The exact area is possibly around 12 to 16 square kilometers, the map that you showed in the presentation.
Yes.
And submit that. He will subsequently take it up with the Ramsar regional teams. Similar errors were found in RISs of, Ashtamudi, wherein there was an error by a factor of 10. The Ramsar site area was indicated to be 10 times higher than what it was actual.
Yeah.
So there is absolutely no need to worry about Ramsar boundaries. Your boundaries are okay. It is the mathematical number which is inaccurate.
Okay.
So all you need to do, sir, is separately write a letter to the ministry saying that there is a factual error in the data that has been conveyed to Ramsar Convention, and that matter will be resolved.
So we are working on that. We are discussing with the different stakeholders also. And you have rightly pointed out something around 16 square kilometer, 16 to 19 square kilometer. That will be working on this, and maybe within 2-3 months we will be finalizing that. Any other question from any person? Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Sir, with your permission, I had a question for the Arunachal team. Can I ask? Yes, please. So, Dr. Robin, you mentioned that you have problems in using the Google Earth data. The Google Earth data is corrupt. It is there in the press because there is some, haywire thing happening. The global platform is, invested heavily by Chinese government. You should not use the Google Earth platform to map your wetlands. I was there in PTSO last week, and it is very much within Indian Army. It is very much within Indian borders. You should not attempt to map the international borders at all. The PTSO lake, the small catchment, can be mapped on any other platform like Bhuvan. And we are very happy to provide you support. And Dr. Bajpayee, if you could kindly consider, we are more than happy to take up the idea of hosting a workshop at the state level with your kind permission and introduce the state to all modalities of management planning and all other things within the framework of the JEF IMW BEST project.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say that on your behalf. Already I was going to offer that. So you can plan it and as quickly as possible, and Ritesh will provide all kind of support as a sensitization workshop, to start focusing only on the Arunachal people who will be your stakeholders, and they can go and they can sensitize those people. And if anybody of any of our ministry also can go and participate, there is no problem. So you can talk to Ritesh and fix up a date, we'll do it. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite the representative from Meghalaya to deliver their presentation.
I have a small question from Manipur.
Oh yeah, sure.
Manipur. Yeah. It's not a question, it's just a suggestion. Like, we are very greedy. We want your data. That you have already mapped the digital thing. We want those data to be, shared with us on our Wetland of India portal, either through your website to our website or directly to our website. So, whatever suits you, something which you have already identified and digitized, those coordinates will be needing from you, and as quickly as possible.
So I will do it. It has already submitted to the ministry also, and I will submit it again, sir.
So we'll be sharing a format.
Yeah.
If you are sharing digitally, then API will need to be written. Otherwise, we'll share Excel format. You can get it entered in the Excel, and then we can enter in our website.
For a country wetlands, we have submitted the brief document also with the mappings.
Okay.
And 119 has been already digital survey only.
Okay.
Digital survey.
Okay.
So I will submit it.
Thank you.
I would also like to request the representatives of the remaining states to follow 10 minutes per presentation, also 5 minutes for question and answers to run on schedule. Thank you.
Please copy it and put it there.
Okay.
There is a folder which is
this
to
one.
be given to the ministry. This is the folder.
I'll first take our thing. Pen drive, yeah. Which one is? No, it's not
No,
coming.
your is not coming.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry. Yeah. Respected dignitaries present from MOEF, 8 northeastern states, participants, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. I am Pawan Kumar Agrahari, CCF Wildlife Meghalaya, and I will be presenting the status of wetland notification in Meghalaya. So this is basically the wetland map throughout the length and breadth of Meghalaya. And we have basically 3 regions in Meghalaya, Garo Hills, Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills. And a total of 80 wetlands, list of 80 wetlands are there, out of which 6 we have delisted because of the definition and the criteria mentioned in wetland rules. And 7 brief documents we have prepared, got it approved, and we have sent it to government for notification. And out of the remaining 67, 14 we have done field validation, and will be preparing brief document and putting it again to SWA and to government. And remaining will be done subsequently. So as far as major activities are concerned, of course Meghalaya is quite at early stage as regards the wetland notification, and the major thrust came after notification of wetland rules 2017, because in this state wetland authority was notified by central government, which was again re-notified in the state by the individual state. So major thrust came in case of Meghalaya pursuant to 2017. So we have had 3 meetings so far of state wetland authority, and in the last meeting last year on 5th of August, the SWA approved 7 brief documents,
to be notified as a draft notification as per the due process of Wetland Rules 2017. In fact, we had 9, but then 2 were delisted because they were man-made for recreation purposes, so they were delisted. We already have notified Technical and Grievance Committee, because Technical Committee is the committee which approves the brief document, and then we go to SWA. After SWA approves, then we move the proposal to state government for notification. Even SWA members have been reconstituted. And there is one more development in Meghalaya, that Honorable High Court of Meghalaya, through suo motu PIL, has taken the matter of not only wetland, but water bodies as a whole. So not only wetlands which are to be notified, they want to conserve and manage in a better way till it is notified, but also other wetlands which cannot be notified because of criteria, etc. So because of this PIL 10, there have been developments not only in those wetlands which are to be notified, but even other wetlands, other water bodies we are trying to protect under the guidance of Honorable High Court. And in fact, we have made one expert committee on the directions of Honorable High Court, which is taking care of all the water bodies as a whole, including wetlands, which is there as per the rules. So latest is on the 2nd of December 2022, we have sent the draft notification to state government, and it is under process at that level. Now coming to the achievements, so as already told, we have sent 7 wetlands for draft notification, and once it is notified, then within 240 days, the final notification has to be done after consultation and claims and objections. And total 6 wetlands, based on the criteria, etc., and the information available from local people, we have delisted also. An additional 14 wetlands validated and surveyed. Now coming to the challenges in case of Meghalaya, we all know Meghalaya, all the districts are 6 scheduled districts. So more than 90% area is under 6 schedule, where local people and communities and clans are having major say in the land ownership. So because of land ownership, it involves land ownership. Even though we don't need to purchase the land for notification, we face problem, because after the notification is done, we will have restrictions. Certain activities will be prohibited. So there are a lot of resistance coming even before the notification, and I hope after notification comes, there will be more, when the activities will be actually regulated and prohibited, not only in the core area, which is the wetland water body, but also the zone of influence, which will complete the total catchment and of course wetland. And in fact, in Meghalaya, we have done one more thing, that even the zone of influence as prescribed in the wetland rules, we have made into 3. In that also we have made one buffer zone, then we have a transition zone, and after that, if there is an area left in the catchment, we have made it a promotional zone or permitted zone, where there will not be additional restrictions, but we will be promoting good activities so that wise use of wetland is done. So the idea is we have 4 zonations, including the wetland itself, and all these 4 zonations will cover wetland and the catchment. So not even a single square inch of wetland will be left out from some sort of regulation or promotional activities. Now another challenge we are facing, especially we have one Unyam Lake or Barapani Lake, and that has attracted the attention of Honorable High Court, and he has extended, Honorable High Court has extended this even to other water bodies, which is a good thing, that there are construction of hotels and resorts coming up. An additional problem is so far that building bylaws of district councils, which are under 6th schedule, they don't mention about water body, distance of water body in respect of their building norms or construction norms so far. So in fact, under Honorable High Court's directions, this expert committee is making one additional guidelines which will be approved by High Court, and that will apply in addition to building bylaws which are already there under the directions of Honorable High Court, so that we can protect those water bodies till it is notified, or in case it is not to be notified, even after that also, because many water bodies we cannot notify as wetland. So naturally we have to still protect them from many developmental activities, even if it is for recreation or whatsoever. Now another challenge we face is lack of fund. Now there are 2-3 types of funding requirements. One is preparing in brief document, surveying, and getting the wetland notified. That is the first. Later on, once wetland is notified, then people's rights will be affected, though it will be for a very good objective. And these people will require some sort of entry point activity or some sort of incentive so that the overall situation is balanced and they cooperate in a better manner, especially when they own the land. The local people, either individually or at a clan level or a village level, they own the land. And it does not belong to any government department, unfortunately, in Meghalaya. So here in Meghalaya, what I feel, the funding will be a problem and is a problem even now. Right now, for preparing brief document, etc., we get money from state government through state developmental scheme, which gives money to state wetland authority. Then we spend the money by giving money to NISAT. They are helping us in drone survey. For preparing brief document, collection of data, we have some contextual engagements who are some expert or some technical knowledgeable people. And with that, from the department itself, most of the brief documents we are making. So my humble submission is that we need more funding even from Government of India, and of course there are funding schemes, but still what I feel at this stage itself, when we make the brief document, if something can be provided, that will be good. And also to local people after the wetland is notified, so that in case of Meghalaya or other states where committees are there, it helps in a better way. Yeah. So I have already made the first point, second point also. Then there is one more point about wetlands. What happens, these wetland rules are under EP Act. Under EP Act, section 19 notifies who can file violations, if any. Now, normally wetland manager will be a person from either forest or wetland authority. They directly are not empowered under EP Act till now. If you compare with eco-sensitive zone, even in eco-sensitive zone, normally wildlife DFO is managing the area, but wildlife DFO is normally not empowered under section 19 of EP Act. But I have seen in eco-sensitive zone notification, there is a para that under section 19, wildlife manager, deputy commissioner, etc., or a chairman of the monitoring committee will be empowered to file offences under EP Act. So something of that sort should be done because wetland rules notification of wetlands is done by state, unlike eco-sensitive zone which is done by MOEF. So state cannot do that. So we need some sort of legal support also, because today it's okay. Once we notify and there is a violation, suppose there is a mining, what can wetland authority do directly? Or there is some activity which is prohibited and it is being done, or regulated and regulation is not followed. So what can be done in addition to other regulations, so that directly wetland authority, who is supposed to monitor, supposed to be responsible to manage it, have a say to file offense or have a nuisance value also in case of those perpetrators who are not complying. So till that time good faith is there, it will be good without this section and all. But as long as you have any reason to file a case, then you have to move to deputy commissioner or you have to move to pollution control board or other authorities who are not directly managing so far. So that is my request. If something can be done on that count, that will be good for legally protecting wetland also. Thank you very much. So if any question is there or any doubt or yes, please. Correct, yeah.
Because you did not find them in accordance to the coverage of the wetland rules.
Yes.
I think, sir, there is a fundamental conceptual confusion here. The wetland rules subscribes to the definition of Ramsar Convention. On a part of these wetlands, the wetland rules can be applied, but it is the duty of the state wetland authority and UT wetlands authority to protect the entire wetlands. Whether you use a regulatory approach or not, that is up to you. So kindly do not delist anything. Any water body is technically a wetland, but wetlands are not just water bodies. Anywhere. So when you read the wetland rules and the guidance documents that has been prescribed by the ministry, it takes a very wide approach and it allows you, it encourages states to take more than extra regulatory efforts to conserve those wetlands. So kindly do not delist. In fact, the Proforma 1, if you read the Annex 1, it requests the State Wetland Authority to provide a list of all wetlands, identify which of these will be covered by wetland rules, and then requests you to apply wise use principles to the entire wetland set. So I'll request you to take a more pragmatic approach and include everything in the state within the ambit of wetland conservation.
No, in fact, I agree with you what you are saying, because when I said it is delisted, it is only delisted from notification under wetland rules, which is under EP Act. But in fact, I'll tell you another story regarding this. There are two reasons why we have delisted from wetland rules only, not from the protection otherwise. Now there are two reasons. Some are basically pure river channels. So that is one. The second thing was that there were two sites in which were like inside a park, and they told it is man-made only for recreation. So that is fitting into that exclusion clause. And in fact, recently there is one more exclusion done out of those two, where tourism department itself came along with the local landowners, and they told it was man-made for this purpose, kindly exclude it from it. This came. And then only we have excluded only for the purpose of this, and in fact we have written the technical committee when they sat to exclude it because it was included in the first place. SW also approved in fact, but we have not sent for notification because of this objection. Then we have written even if it is excluded from wetland rules, technically for notification, the tourism department and local people will take all efforts, including state government, to protect it otherwise. And that's what, in fact, because of PIL, the question of whether it is wetland or not in case of Meghalaya is not much relevant, because High Court of Meghalaya is telling you protect all wetlands or water bodies. So once we have wetland rule, we will protect it anyway. If not, then we are forming guidelines, construction norms, so that we can protect it without even rules, purely on the basis of High Court orders in our case. Yeah, welcome.
No, is that wetland good enough from the biodiversity point of view, or can you take it under Ramsar? If you cannot take in as per management rules.
Sir, not right now, sir, but because Ramsar I have studied, it requires very high value of enrichment in itself.
Yes.
So our first phase, which is started in Meghalaya, is to just protect the water body.
Yeah.
Purely because of to avoid encroachment, development, so that water body is available for whether it is drinking water or other things. But of course, second part will be even from biodiversity and ecology point of view. That I think, sir, we will take up later on, sir.
I was referring to the specific wetland that you were talking, that it cannot be taken as under the wetland management rules.
Sir.
So in that regard, I was saying,
sir.
Yeah, if that is good enough from the Ramsar angle, so if that can be done, then automatically it will get a protection under that rules.
I think it's not very big also, sir. And second thing is, it is basically like a lake inside a park, so which is more of recreation, sir. So I don't think it will be fit, but other wetlands, we will examine if it is fit for Ramsar or we have enough, data to support. Yeah, because we have to see the criteria, which is very tough criteria. It is a lot of, it has to be high class. Then only we can move. But first stage, what we are doing it, even to notify under regular wetlands as per the rules to start with, sir. Thank you, sir. Any more question or? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite the representative from Mizoram to deliver their presentation. Is there somebody? I don't know who's going to help with this.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, all the dignitaries from the state, knowledge partners, wetland trust. I myself, 30 years looking after the wetland. I'm regretted to inform you that I cannot talk about the Mizoram state because my boss is not coming. I'm stick on the particular site, Grande. Before the Mizoram, we have 2 wetlands, financial assistance from the government of India, Ministry of Forest. Then we have 5 brief documents submitted to the ministry, I think. The I'm sticking on the Pala wetland. Pala wetland is a notified reserve forest in 1985. 2005 it was listed in the National Wetland List. On 2022, I think, it was upgraded to the Ramsar site. It was covered around 850 square hectares. It's supposed to increase 2,400 hectares. It is another process. There is a 5 fringe villages around the wetlands. The population is about only 2,000 only. We can say at present there is a free of the encroachment. The main problem is that management of this area, the main problem is there is no research at all. There is no research paper. That is the problem for future management of the wetlands. That's why today I request all the knowledge partners to come to this area, do at least some research. Major effort for the conservation of Pala wetlands. There is since it was located in the deep areas, it was covered with the hills. All the rainwater flows to the Pala wetlands areas. That's why we constructed so many series of silting basin and Cabian structures to check the sedimentation entering to the wetland side. Then so many check done, construction of drainage also constructed in many places. All the stream and the rivers areas. Then, because the plantation, we have raised the plantation outside the notification. The notification areas is covered with all the dense forest. Then outside the reserve forest area, we have a planted area plantation last 3 years, around 50 hectares of plantation has been raised under the AR plantation, and 50 hectares of the AR plantation is raised outside the notified reserve areas. Then there is horticulture plantation. Horticulture plantation is raised by the free villagers. We have selected those who are having the land outside the areas. We are encouraging the betelnut plantation. In the interval of the betelnut plantation, we are raising the bananas plantation. Banana will be last long for the 4 to 5 years only. Then this will be very challenging plantation because it is good for the sustainable livelihood for the French village. Now the banana also, within a span of 2 or 3 years, banana has been selling to the market now. The banana will be last long for only 4 to 5 years. Then again the betelnut will be. Then major challenge, we can say that there is no scientific papers and research at all. Because there is at present only the identification of some birds and some of the trees only. That is really challenging for the knowledge partners today. Then this one key areas and aspect of support, because Pala wetland is very potential for the irrigation purpose. It is the upper side of the this one WRC areas. All the waters, wastage of water can be utilized for the irrigation purpose to the lower part of the Pura wetland, Pura food plan and the slope plain areas. That water can be used for the 200 to 300 hectares for WRC. Then it is also potential for the mini hydro power also, because the wastage of the waters is flowing down to the down area. There is a steep areas. The level of the Pala wetland at the WRC areas is about the 150 meters elevation. Then more there is a Palapino. Palapino is the, we can say these are 50 hectares to come away from the Pala lake. That need to improve that lake. If we improve that lake, there will be the home for the birds and other species. Sorry. This is the Pala lake. There is a plantation. There is a Palapino, is the stellite lake, we can say. Thank you. Is there any question?
Regarding knowledge partners, anybody help because they want to research something or knowledge partners? NCSMS.
So thank you very much, sir, for a very detailed presentation. Sir, thank you very much for the presentation, sir. And our team from Chennai will be visiting Pala Wetland next week. We
Okay.
will come and discuss with you on
Okay.
the activities that will be undertaken, the research that will be undertaken under this. I will talk to you, sir.
Thank you. Is there any others?
Thank you so much. Now I would like to call the representative from Nagaland to please come on stage and deliver your presentation.
I think the HDMI and everything is good here.
Okay, I'll do it myself. Yeah, I can do it. That's pretty easy. Make this longer. It might fall. Can't make it longer. Careful. I hope it will not fall. Be careful. Why is it not coming? Can you check why it's not coming? No. Do you have a pen drive? I don't have a pen drive. I think they're trying to figure out. Yeah, sure. I'll just close it, okay? It's your laptop. It's my laptop. I don't have a pen drive. just really pulling this. We have a wire. This is what? This is a jack for the sound.
Was this already here?
I put it myself, it was here. I have a video to show.
Yes, the optical connector. It detects the input on its own. So once the cable is in, it should.
If you have a pen drive, maybe use your system. Transfer my file to the file.
Whose laptop is
That's mine. The one that was here.
Let's see if it works. Hey, this is the oh my pen drive. You have Ah. Pen drive. It's not detecting.
This is my laptop.
You have a pen drive?
I don't have a pen drive. Let me get your pen drive. Sure.
지금 떠오르세요. copy. 야, 그들아.
What's going on?
아까 이 copy 또 하면
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Nagaland, respected sirs and others on the dais, and all officials present here. I'm Lanston Lota, Range Forest Officer from Nagaland Forest Department. Before I proceed, with permission from the chairperson, I would like to give you all a fair warning that 3 slides was just not enough for me to put all the information together. So I have put around 10 slides, but I'll try to make sure I finish within the 10 minutes limit. I'll just go straight into the point. So major efforts, we're still at a very nascent stage, I would say. But we're really happy that we could implement the conservation and management of the Doyang Reservoir Wetland Project that was supported by NPCA. That is the National Plan for Conservation of Aquatic Ecosystems. This happens also to be the first project through NPCA in the state. Then some of the activities that we did, I'm just going to run through. Of course, the first one was forestry interventions, where we did a lot of plantations on the catchment area. Then infrastructure development, habitat improvement of some endangered species. We also did capacity building. Then we also focused on livelihood improvement. And I think one important thing that I'm really happy about this project was that we could focus on the research studies. I think we never had the kind of data that we needed to come up with some good management plans and stuff. But through this project, we could really focus and strengthen our information and data, our database basically. Just to give you an idea, this is Doyang Reservoir Wetland, and we have 20 villages in total in the catchment area, marked in these green things. And this is a picture of the reservoir, an aerial view. You can see there's a boat here just for your reference of the size. What I would like to focus on, again, like I mentioned earlier, is a breakup of what we actually did through the project. So if you look at the first one, which is watchtower. So we constructed 10 watchtowers for multiple purposes. Then we also had food processing units. We constructed 2 of them. Then we had the water hole cum water harvesting structures. We did this in all the 20 villages. Then we had brushwood check them. So we selected 12 tributaries, 12 streams that runs into the reservoir. And we created these low-cost brushwood check dams. We also had gully plugging, 48 numbers. So what we did is we alternated the gully plugs along with the brushwood check dams to make it more efficient and more effective. We also constructed a lot of trenches, 480 in total. So this part is the plantation part. So we did ANR in 1,000 hectares, artificial regeneration AR in another 100 hectares, grassland and fodder plantation for another 100 hectares. We distributed horticultural crops such as lychee, mango, coffee, and some other more. I didn't have space, so I didn't put all of it. We distributed in all the 20 villages. We did habitat improvement for the soft shell turtle habitats. We also created 2 nurseries just to, supplement to our needs. We constructed 2 pig breeding centers where we also gave out 10 piglets each along with feeds. We had distributed poultry chicks to all the 20 villages along with feeds. Also, we did a lot of awareness programs and training programs such as the mushroom cultivation training. And like I said again, the research studies on various hydrological and biodiversity assessment in the catchment area. So with that, I want to come, I'm just going to run through some pictures quickly. So these are some of the plantation areas. This is the ANR, this is natural regeneration site. This is the AR, artificial regeneration. This is one of the pig breeding centers. These are poultry chicks distribution and the training on mushroom cultivation and some of the awareness programs. Again, some more pictures. Like I said, we built 10 of these watchtowers. You can see the reservoir is there in the background. These are the gully plugs. Brush to check them. Make this space, villagers can actually cultivate something out of it in that space. So they cultivated sugarcane, chili, and these are, if some of you might know, these are the emerald falcons, the migratory emerald falcons. As you know, like Northeast and Nagaland falls in the south, one of the pathways for the migration. And when we went and did the interventions, we did basically in the catchment area of the reservoir where the emerald falcons come for the stopover sites every year. So I think that in that sense, the emerald falcon habitat protection was one that we also achieved, in addition to all the other things that we did. And again, I'm going to focus on the research studies. There's another achievement because initially we didn't have as much data. And so a compendium, yeah. So last time I was here in 2020 for the same conference, that time, workshop. And one thing that we learned from our Manipur counterparts, we're very grateful to the LDA, is that they showed us pictures and booklets of how they recorded everything. We were very curious then because we had never done this project, but that gave us a very good sense of what we really need to be doing and what others are doing. So I'm very happy to say that, based on your what you have shared with us, we were very inspired to have come up with a compendium, this big book that we've done out of this project. And thank you all very much. And what I want to mention is that at least say about 75% of this book is actually all research data. So it's going to be very helpful for us. It's been serving us very well. So thank you to LDA for inspiring us to do something like this. I have a few copies. We have brought a few copies that we'd like to share with all of some of you later on. Then another thing that's on the pipeline is that for the Ramsar site, the RIS is in the final stage, so we're hoping that we can get this done soon. And of course, the IMP is also in the final stages for the next phase for this wetland. Talking about challenges, we had to implement this during the lockdown, so it was very, very challenging. This is very specific to the first project. But on it, if I talk about the general challenges that we have, is that we're still learning because it was the first project. We have very severe manpower shortage, unfortunately. And the terrain or the villages that we visit, they're very, very remote, some of them. And it can be, like, logistically, it's quite struggle sometimes. Very important, another thing is that it's, most of our state still remains largely unexplored and undocumented, and even more so for wetlands. There are existing threats to wetlands, some very severe. And like our other speakers have mentioned, we do have the land ownership challenges to tackle. Key areas and aspects of support needed. So many more wetlands, like I mentioned earlier, in the state is unexplored and they need to be protected. I just wanted to mention some examples, like here, Chile Lake. I'm not sure if some of you may have heard, but it has a lot of folklore and stories based on this lake. But what's important is that it's the largest freshwater lake in our state. And also we have this complex wetlands in villages of Akuk and Mekula in Wokha district. Last time Dr. Golden was there and we could go and visit some of these wetlands. So those are some of the things that we want to highlight next time, focus on next time. Then in Wokha district, again, if I talk about this. So what you see here, this is a natural wetland, yeah. And this is like our ma'am from Assam mentioned. This is a habitat for elephants again. And Wokha district is one of the most densest population of elephants in the state. So when we're working on wetlands, we're also indirectly working with other bigger mammals like elephants. Other globally threatened species, I would say, because this wetland, this is just one of the wetlands, but there are a couple of other wetlands here in this complex wetland system. So in 2017, we rescued 2016 we rescued a turtle, which turned out to be a black softer turtle, which, as per IUCN categories, an extinct wild species. But after that, not multiple, but at least some other reports have also been found on this species in Assam. Now, fortunately, as per IUCN category, that species has been downgraded to critically endangered. But that is how unexplored, these wetlands are. So yeah, I think we have to be focusing on the other globally threatened species as well. We also need support in terms of technical expertise and, of course, financial assistance. We really need to map our wetlands and see, how we can prioritize them. Learning never ends, so that's where we are right now. We keep learning, and we look forward to learning from all of you, and to be inspired like we were inspired last time by LDA, and to deliver in action the measures to protect our wetlands. With these few words, I would like to end my talk. This is a cloud leopard that we had recorded from our catchment area. So thank you all. I would like to take questions if any.
Any wetlands are identified for notification?
Still we're in the process still, but yes, there are plans for more wetlands.
How many wetlands at least identified?
So at least right now, so the complex wetlands that we're showing of Akuk and Maikukla, that's one. But again, there's so many multiple wetlands inside, but it's a complex. So Lake Shiloi is something that we're really focusing on, but again, we're not having enough data to even make the brief document. So that's where we're stuck at the moment, sir.
Any questions? Others?
I think that's it then. Thank you all very much. I'll just fit this for you here. He'll do it? Okay, great. Thank you very much. I have a lot of stuff.
USB port on my extra.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite the representative from Sikkim to come and give your presentation.
agency, and participants from all the 7 states, northeast states, and delegates. A very warm greeting from the state of Sikkim. I have a very short presentation because it was written in the email that just bring 3 slides. So I tried to manage, and then I had to cut so much. I don't have much pictures, anything. After watching all the presentations, what I realized is the landscape of Sikkim is very unique, very completely different from the landscape of any other state. And it is a very harsh landscape. We have very steep hills. It is unlike the hills of Manipur that you get so much flat land. In our states, it's like completely, we live in very rocky cliffs, you know. So, first of all, the distribution of, we have more than 500
wetlands in Sikkim. According to the National Atlas, 227 is below 2.2 hectares and almost the same number above 2.2 hectares. And out of these 500 wetlands, the state government has identified 8 wetlands for conservation and management purposes. And earlier we used to have 4 districts in Sikkim, east, west, north and south. Sikkim is a very small state, it's just 7,096 square kilometers. And now, like 2 years ago, it has been made into 6 districts. But the wetlands are still like categorized in northeast, west and south. And North District of Sikkim is like, most of the part of North Sikkim is coal desert. So most of the wetlands are located in the north part of Sikkim, North District of Sikkim. And so in east we have 3, Changbu Lake, Phidang Lake and Tamze. Tamze wetland shares, it transcends the boundary of district and it is also present in North District. And in the West District we just have Ketchiberi Lake. And in the South District we have are above 12,000 feet. So due to that, management efforts, although I was looking at all the slides, every participants, we do the same work. So I did not elaborate. We do the soil moisture conservation works, making brush check dams. We do plantation in the catchment, vegetative works, awareness activities. We do like in most of the special days like World Wetland Day, World Environment Day, Biodiversity Day, World Ozone Day. We do these activities. And cleaning activities also, we do it at least 6 times a year. We like include all the local stakeholders. And then we've done a few scientific studies. I'll come to that later. Major achievement in 3 years, I would say, we have prepared the brief document. It took us years to do this because there was a lot of editing and changes we had to make. And as I said, it's a very harsh landscape. To go to that place and do the study, it took a lot of time. Over seasons, over years we did. And so now we have the brief document ready for 140 lakes. And this document was approved by the state government very recently. We'll be submitting it to the ministry very soon. And next is installation of bio-toilets, eco-toilets at Gurudongmar and Changu Lake. We've been doing mobile toilets. And because these are very pristine wetlands. We have lots of tourists going there, and our wetlands are not near any villages or any towns. It is very far off. So these toilets are really required there. And then
we did distribution of prayer flags to about 200 families, 5 each to each family, and then we had to build this 2-kilometer stone wall fencing in the catchment area of Gurudongmar Lake, although it doesn't seem a very big feat, but to build a wall at the catchment of Gurudongmar is like you have to go above 15,000 feet. So any work that we do, like for Chilika Lake, if doing a check dam would come to X amount, it will be into 3X for us. So because we have to take people from another place to work there. So the amount, the rates are automatically threefold for us. And we have done a very good study on the Tembao complex, and we have come up with 3 documents. And this is, we feel it is a treasure for the wetland manager, whoever comes even after us, because we have come up with this. And these researchers, a group of, it was an NGO, it's run by 3-4 researchers, and they went there and stayed with the locals, and over seasons they did this study. So we have this, and SMC works are general works, and this is the mobile toilet at Changu Lake, and I had one for Gurudongmar, which was so beautiful, but somehow the net did not work, so I could not put the picture here. And one of the achievements I might have forgotten to mention was the fish feeding area in Ketchiperi Lake. Ketchiperi is a religious lake, so we have like about 1 lakh of tourists coming every year, international, domestic, and local tourists, to feed the fish there. It's a Buddhist culture where you feed the fish, and they have their own beliefs. So the locals also, they were selling chunks of soya packets to feed the fish, and so the fish, like the soya was being accumulated, and there was a danger of eutrophication in that lake. And also the biotic pressure was so much that we had to make this fish feeding area, which is fed by the outlet of Ketchiperi Lake itself. So this is the first one, and second one, and the final completed one, you can see. Now the pressure is much more decreased. Nobody feeds the fish in the Ketchiperi Lake itself. This is the
for support for Sikkim. We have submitted 3 integrated management plans for Yangchenso, Tanze, and Ketchiperi. So it is at the ministry at the moment. So it would be really nice if we get. And regarding funding, I would also like to request the ministry that to send the funding like in April, May, because when you send the funding in December, it's like totally snow covered. All these lakes, we cannot work. So if it comes on time, it will not be spilled over to another season. Another is the Ramsar site proposal that we had given. It was declined twice, citing defense reasons, security, national security reasons. So we have come up with this complexes. So we want to submit our proposal for Ramsar site again, because even Jammu Kashmir has a Ramsar site, why can't Sikkim? So we have made this Ketchiperi, Kanchenjunga Lona complex,
Tangcho complex, Cholamo Plateau, Lashar Unisamdung complex. So these are huge landscapes. So if we could do it in this way, it would be really good, because I'd like to show you Gyamchona Lake. This falls under one of the complexes. Gyamchona Lake is the only prehistoric brackish water lake in Sikkim. And it is also home to black-necked crane, and it is a major global flyway for birds, for migratory birds. So Gurudongmar Lake, all these lakes are actually adjacent to the Tibetan Plateau. So it is entirely in the cold desert area. So if we could declare it as a Ramsar site, it would really be helpful even for the flora, fauna there, and even to do conservation works. So I think that is most I have. And for Gurudongmar, I had something for Gurudongmar, sorry. Yeah, for Gurudhamma, we have recently received the remaining funding. For that, we will be making a parking area.
Above the lake area, which is causing siltation, because the vehicles are going about like random, they have no limits, no boundaries, so we want to make a parking area below the lake, so people can walk for 5 minutes. But in Gurudhamma, even to walk for 5 minutes, you might need oxygen sometimes. So we want to do a road this time, and also build a road, eco-friendly road, leading to the parking area, because there is no demarcated road as such. So these are the works that we want to do, and request the ministry to release the funds for that, and thank you very much.
Yeah, I have a question. Do you have any interpretation center there in Gurudhamma?
No, sir.
Interpretation center, no?
No, sir.
Do you plan to have any?
We would love to have some, if we can receive funding for that, sir.
Yeah.
It would be a really nice thing to have, interpretation center.
Yeah, means what kind of features that you want to project in the interpretation center, that have you worked out on that? Because the cultural significance of that lake is very high, very, very high.
Exactly, sir. Exactly, sir.
So those kind of things you should be ready with, then only you can plan.
We
for
can
the
send a
interpretation
proposal
center.
for IC, sir. Yes.
And is I believe that is also part of a bigger tourist circuit.
Exactly,
And
sir.
not Sikkim tourist circuit. It's part of the tourism circuit, no?
Exactly, sir. It is one of the major sites that all the tourists stop over there. But you really have to be acclimatized to go to Gurudhamma. So you cannot go it one day. You have to stay at a lower altitude and acclimatize yourself for the oxygen level and go to Gurudhamma.
So Ramsar site proposal, was it sent earlier?
Yes, sir. It was declined.
It was declined by
Yes, sir.
the
Twice. By the Ministry of Defence, yes, sir. So we would really like to request the Ministry of Environment to pursue it in the Defence Ministry, because
So can you resubmit it?
Yes, sir.
With the
Definitely.
justification and all?
Definitely, sir.
And what are the 3 ILPs that you have already sent, as you said?
Yangchin Chu, that is a completely new one. Then we have Kitchberry and Tamze. Tamze actually is the water source for the entire Gangtok town.
Yeah, I know, ECK.
Yes, and the army is building roads there. So mostly problem we have is with the army. Everywhere, because people don't live in the areas where we have our wetlands. It is mostly the defense that builds their constructions and roads. And then once they come, there's the problem of feral dogs. So even the migratory birds, like they're attacking the birds. So we have this problem with the army very frequently, sir.
When did you send it?
Initially it was sent in 2012, then it got rejected, and again in 2016-17 we had sent it, sir. After that we haven't. Twice, sir.
No, IMP.
Hey, IMP, sir. IMP last year only.
Last year.
Last year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, some very quick observations on Sikkim. Ma'am, I think one of the best things that your state has done is the model of Pukri Sanrakshan Samitis. Sir, these PKSSs are